okay? And so it's the same kind of chord voicing. This is a beautiful minor 7 chord voicing. Let's analyze it. There's a couple of different ways in which you can look at this chord voicing. You could think of it as building up from the root. Remember, this is G minor 7. So building up from the root in fourths. So that's a fourth, that's a fourth, that's a fourth, right? And then up a third from there. That's a major third up there, okay? And then this is the root, the 11th, the 7th, the 3rd, and the 5th, okay? Another way in which you can look at it is playing root and 4 in the left hand, and this is a B flat major triad, right? B flat, D, F, right? It's a B flat major triad. So you can think, okay, I can build a major triad in second inversion, all right, on the 3rd of the chord. So if I did it in C, major triad, boom, on the 3rd, second inversion, right? So it's an E flat major triad, and then hit root 4 in the left hand. However it's easier for you to think about it, okay? But I would finger it like this. I would usually use pinky and second finger, or maybe pinky and or thumb and middle finger, and right hand thumb, middle pinky. Okay. G minor 7. Then the melody goes on, you know, over the. Now we get to rain bow. Now on rain, that's where, you know, there's no chord that's listed there. And what you could do is, a lot of times I like to use a B flat dominant 7th chord, okay, right in there. And then the reason I use the B flat dominant 7th chord is the next chord is E flat 7. So now think about this. So I'm going to an E flat 7 chord, right? All right, so now if I precede that E flat chord with its dominant chord, okay, that would be a B flat 7. All right. Now what's happening here is I'm just using, you know, basically like extended dominance, all right? Or I can also think of this as dominant resolution, okay? Now all that that means is I look at where my target is. I'm going to an E flat, all right? So if I'm going to an E flat, I can think, what is the 5th of E flat? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th of E flat is B flat, all right? I can also think, go down a 4th, all right? That's B flat. So I go to that B flat and I make a dominant 7th chord on that note. Now, of course, it has to fit with the melody, and you'll see what the melody here is. Once again, we're on page 505. You'll see what the melody is, and you'll see that, well, a dominant 7th chord indeed fits over the melody. All right, it's part of the chord. All right, that's one of the chord tones. All right, so you do something like that. All right. You could also do this. This is B flat 7, right? But notice what I did here. I played the 7th, the 3rd, and here I used the 13, right, rather than the 7th, right? There's no sense in doubling the 7th because that sounds a little too blocky, right, with the 5 and the 7. So replace that with the 13, and then I have my 3rd up top. Okay. Could I try my 9th down there? Well, let's give it a go. That's another possibility, all right? Depending on how much tension you want. This is the sharp 11. Could we do sharp 5 instead? I don't think that sounds as good. All right. Now, when going to the next chord, E flat 7, a lot of times and I'm in the second measure here, all right? So somewhere over the rain bow, all right? That's the note I'm on, is bow, B-O-W. A lot of times, instead of playing that E flat 7 chord, what I'll do is I replace that E flat 7 chord with its tritone. So this is tritone resolution. Okay, so let me explain that out to you. So instead of, first of all, the tritone is halfway between the octave. So if I have C to C, the tritone is right here in the middle. Okay, so right halfway between the octave. So instead of playing a C, I can play an F sharp. Let me explain that a little further. Let's do this on E flat. So the tritone is A. So instead of playing an E flat chord, I can play an A chord. All right. So instead of playing E flat 7, let me replace that with A flat 7. So, all right. See what I got there? That's a nice sound. right? I can also maybe, let's see, maybe that's a little less tense, right? Although that sounds nice as well. And what's this? Once again, that's 9. 9 sounds good. Could I play flat 9? Well, let's try it. Yeah, okay, I guess you can, right? I don't like it as much as the natural 9. I think that sounds great, okay? And once again, this is A7, 7th G with the pinky, 3rd C sharp with my 2nd finger. This is all left hand. And then thumb on F sharp, which is the 13. Same note as 6, but since it's a dominant 7th chord, we want to call it 13. 2nd finger on B, which is the 9th, and then 4th finger on D sharp, which would be the sharp 11, okay? See, that sounds really cool. And now, so basically what we're having is B flat 7 down to A7, then down to A flat major 7, okay? You can hear if I, you know, that's a real nice sound. So now if you were comping and someone else was playing the melody or singing the melody, you can do something along these lines. This is B flat 7, root 7, and this is how I like to think of this as fourths built on either the 3rd going up or on the 9th going down. A lot of times I like to think down rather than going up, but sometimes I switch in my head as well. So I might think that's fourths built on the 9th or fourths built on the 3rd. It's up to you, okay? But basically what it gets you is 3, 13, and 9. And you just move that right on down. And here for A flat major 7, you can do the same thing, a 4th voicing, right? Root 7, and it's the 3rd, the 6th here in this case because it's major 7, and a 9th. Now I do